Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear from our host, Andy Albright.
It's been a different cabin experience. That is your, yeah, I know, it's fancy. So welcome to the Wednesday Call. This one will be a little different. I don't know if you can see the whole audience, but we got a bunch of ladies here that are fired up out of their mind. See right here, you see right there. It's either mud wrestling or paintball. You figure out which one they were doing when they were here. Lord have mercy. It's been, I hope you guys have a good time and beautiful place. And our goal here is to talk to the people out there and give them some feel for what we're learning, what's changing in our business. And so I picked three ladies that really have a lot of great things going on in their business. They're different parts of the organization. So I wanted to chat with them about what they're learning, what changes that are occurring, what revelations, what eye-opening events, what they're hearing. Because what we have seen when we first started doing these back in March, it has been a dramatic effect on people, because it's not like canned teaching. It's a lot of one on three or 1 on 4. It's just really intense, kind of intense questions and intense answers. And it's hard to say this, but it's stuff we wouldn't say in front of 2,000 people, because it's very individual and very focused, and maybe a little more poignant, maybe a little more brutal, because we've got 2,000 people. You don't know who's brand new, and they might get hurt or upset. Or even if I fly out to Pittsburgh or Las Vegas and there's 100 people here. Speaking of that, so I got on my Dice shirt in honor of the Vegas meeting that I am not going to, but Patrick is going. Diane Lampy, I know you got a great group out there. Lisa Arson. There's a lot of great people going into Vegas, so I bought my I wore my Vegas suit. But even in Vegas, like they're trying to teach you how to sell, teach you how to recruit, teach you how to build a business, but it's a lot like creating $500,000 a month or even $250,000 a month overrides coming in. There's a lot to it, and so it's just hard to teach you like in a 6-hour boot camp. Whereas here, it's, we're here 24 hours. I hadn't been here 24 hours, but y'all been here 24 hours with iron sharpening iron. But I've been here late and been here talking, a lot of talking, not just an hour, but just hours of intensity. So I'm glad that y'all made it. I hope it's worthwhile. I don't want to make it worthwhile. I want to make it worth 100 times, the investment of time and money you put into it. And it really is interesting. Some of the guys that came back and they're like, you wouldn't believe what happened in my business. Think about the Eric guy. He was like, what's happening in my business? I had to come back. I just went back and stuff dramatically started happening. I was like, all right, you're here. Let's talk about it. Let's get it going. And he got another full load of, this is what you're doing wrong. Because what I want to do in a business is what I'm doing wrong. And I mean, that's my big question. A few months ago is when a guy said, he said, you need to quit working with the wrong people. And I know that, but who's the right people? And he was like, new Americans. And now y'all, you know, it was already happening, but we've seen an explosion in the Creole. And not only that, the Nigerians and Kenya, those folks, and then Spanish speaking, it's just starting to blow up. He said, this is what you're doing wrong, do this. So what I'm hoping people go is, what am I doing wrong? And then you fix what you're doing wrong. You know, we didn't have another mortgage protection lead. You know, final expense lead is solid. I mean, we make a lot of money on final expense lead, but that mortgage lead is unbelievable. Now the estate planning leads are bizarre. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. But even though how good it is, I still had to sell it. I mean, hard. And I mean, it's a lot of people in this room that were skeptical. You know, let's see how it goes. And then the people that got out of front, you'll be fine. But we found something. So what I had wrong is I didn't have a product, a lead, like a mortgage protection, found a product that was right. Does that make, you understand what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing wrong? Right. So I wanted to chat with these ladies. First of all, I'd like you to before you get into what you learned, just tell them who you are, where you fit in the organization, a little bit where you live, something like that. Just give them an idea who you are.
Hi there. So I'm Sabrina Frank, direct to Olga and Jason Mathis. I live right outside of Tampa, Florida. I do this business with my mom, Marnie Frank, and we're a mother-daughter duo.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh. I'm Janet Brush. I'm direct to Mike Guerra. I just hit 1.5 years in the business. Just right at that. I mean, since day one, I've been trying to build, but really definitely in the last couple of weeks, been learning a lot more, and I'm excited to just get back and implement a lot of things.
And you live in Katy.
And I live between Houston, Austin, and San Antonio in a small town, and I did just get an office right outside of Katy.
Right outside of Katy. Okay. So Katy, Texas, Tampa, Florida. All right.
So my name's Erica Gold. I've been with the Alliance for a little over 2.5 years now, and I'm direct to Olga and Jason Mathis. And so I've been selling and I'm building now. Yeah. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
From Fort Lauderdale, but live in Tampa now.
No,
You still live in Fort Lauderdale?
Yep.
Okay, that's where home is. All right. So, what has hit you, Erica, since you've been out here? What's changed your mindset or shifted you a little bit, if anything?
So I think being intentional about the people I'm around while I'm here, it's kind of hard to explain without being here. Just getting around everybody and building connections, like Janet and I were talking about how I'm going to start building where she is, and she's going to start building where I am, and kind of helping each other. And that would have never happened if I didn't come and had those conversations with you, and really just gotten around the people doing it, and some people that I never had connections with before this. Just the same way when I started, I didn't know anyone, and that's just something I can take back with me.
So, but you've been coming to national conventions, boot camps.
Yeah.
But that hadn't happened.
It's more, the cabin is more intimate. Like, it's a different type of connection. And I wish I had more people here, because it's hard to explain without you being here. That's right. You know?
Try to explain it.
What happens at the cabin stays at the cabin.
All right, I'm three. I want three things, so that's one. All right, I got you. I'll come back to you. All right.
So one of the biggest things I learned about getting around other people and connections is, especially if they've been in the business longer than me, of seeing what roadmap that they took. And if they're successful, obviously I want to take the same map as well. So I'm always asking questions, and even to Andy of like, okay, you started Amway at 27 and then 37, you did insurance, but 10 years, and you were, you learned a lot in those 10 years. So just learning other people's experiences and where they came from and how they overcame things and handled certain situations. As well as, I would say, I have really been trying to work on charisma and smooth talking and getting around people that are able to do those things, because they got like the gift of gab where they can just, talk, sell, a beekeeper a bee, do a bunch of different things. And because I want to start learning those things. And if you're surrounded by the people who are like you and don't have those skill sets, you're not going to grow. But when you're around people that have that skill set, you're going to start.
And you start thinking, I want to know who you think is smooth enough to do it, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Thank you. I've had this conversation 3 times today. Bud Wren, the preacher that came in, I had him in. He's known me all my life. I mean, he's 3 years older than me, but he was when I was in 2nd grade, he was in the 5th grade, and we were together like that. And he was best friends with my hero, Marshall Pettigrew, Moff, we called him. And so, like, I got to know Buddy, and he knew me. And so when we went by, me and Faith, I think it was Faith, we were talking to him about coming to speak. He says, Faith, do you know who this is? And she said, yeah, it's my boss. And she said, this is the quietest, no people person, like shy, everything. And she was like, what? And I was like, wait, you know this truth, as opposed to me telling it. I need for you to tell more people because I changed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I literally knew that who I was not going to get me what I wanted. Like what I want, how do I get it? Mm-hmm. So who I was not going to get me that. So I was trying to change as fast as I could to become that person who could get what I want. Because I wanted the stuff. That's why I hit you with a WANTTO, is how bad do you want the stuff? Like mine was die for it. I didn't want to die, let's be clear, but I was willing to come close to death just to try to get what I had. But believe it, changing who I was is not death. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how hard I was working, how many times late nights driving and sleepy, more of that risked my life, that sort of stuff. And then obviously not scared of anybody that could have killed me. You know what I mean? Like I talk to girls all the time and they're like what? I'm scared to go in a house, or I'm scared of people going to stop me. I'm like, hey, get a concealed carry. You know what I'm saying? Just do like that grandma did, Get you a concealed carry and get a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Because then you don't scare anything. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I put myself in a position I could have been killed or taken or dead or whatever, because I was like, oh, I got to take a shot. I got to get what I want. So I had to become. So I had to start acting as if, or saying the words. Mm-hmm. Saying the words that the ones that can talk say. Mm-hmm. Where's Demetrius? She was like, she had something last night. She's like, a lot of things what you say is just clickbait. And I was like, well, I don't want to be boring. You know what I mean? You want them to read the article. You want them to hear the article, read the article, memorize the article. Well, it's the subject line, and then it's how you lead up to it. It's a pattern. It's like green glass door. It's like green power. It's a pattern, and if you don't copy the pattern, and I was listening to audio this morning, and it was interesting because there's this kid's talking to the old man, and he's like, you need to tell me. And he said, so are you doing that? No, you do it, think, and you do it, so eventually it's common sense to you. I'll give you, here's one of my biggest ones, is teaching people how to use a script. I have 1-page script, here it is. It is dumb, okay? It's what I handed Stephen Davies. We photocopied it so much 3/4, you couldn't, it was done twisted around on the paper, and I was like, all right, this is what you do right here. And he killed it, but he knew how to talk. So when I'm talking to a person, I want to teach them how to talk, not the script. Because if you can talk, the script don't matter, and if the client stays on script, your script works. But the minute the client gets off script, your script don't work if you can't think. So when I train people, I'm really trying to, when you're calling your client, think. All right, first of all, we don't want them scared. We don't want them thinking. So we want to get them thinking. We want to make it easy as possible. So in other words, I teach how to book an appointment, not the script to book an appointment. Because then I'm good. Or it's the same thing when you're recruiting. Everybody wants a script. Gotta get a script. Or 3-foot rule needs script. Mm-hmm. Like, how about this? How about we teach you how to be a human being that's not scared of people and is expanding their network? Here's how that type person acts, says, and does. Not, here's your script, read that. Now, it is kind of like I give you 8 different scripts or 9 different scripts or comebacks or 9 different clickbaits. You know, so it's just teaching it's getting a person in the pattern of book appointments rather than it is memorizing the scripts. It's a whole lot more powerful than telling you exactly what to do and you becoming a robot. It's a little bit deep for a TWC because I'm talking to y'all because I've been beating y'all up already. You know, it's kind of screaming at you already about stuff. You know, all right, Janet, speaking of talking.
Yay! I got the gift of gab. That's true. I do try to use it to my advantage, though.
You do what?
I said I do try to use my gift of gab to my advantage.
You should.
Yeah.
You gotta use it. Flaunt it.
You know, it's interesting because I think sometimes it's just like the minute details, something you may have heard before, but now you're at a point in the business where it just like shifts your mindset a little bit. Like when we were talking about when you make money, pay your bills, don't go get more bills, right? And don't hold on to too much of your money because you need to invest back in the business. And to kind of hear that even just 5 years ago, you guys just redid your house. Yeah. That's kind of pretty cool to think that you were in that mindset for so long to get where you're at. And to think that, okay, maybe my mindset was thinking 5 years down the road, but I want it to be bigger than that. Maybe I might wait long. Maybe there's not a time frame on that necessarily. But yeah.
Yeah, it's well. This place was done before our home, but this place was done on expenses.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't write off expenses on your home.
Correct.
But 100% here, because it's Albright Properties, it's my real estate, fixing it up. And we knew we were going to use it for stuff like this, whereas we didn't. I say we didn't plan on using our house, but what y'all don't know, there is people that have hung out at our house before we had this, you know, doing teaching. And I was talking to y'all about the real estate deal that me and Keith were having trouble. We finally made a decision now. So what happens is you think and think and think, and then you make a decision probably based on emotion. Mm-hmm. And then you end up justifying it with reason or justifying it with logic. We were trying to use logic to make the decision, although we know there's a lot of emotions. So what happens is what we decided to do is we're going to create a bigger problem 5 years from now. So like when you don't pay taxes this year, and you reinvest them, the goal is that next year you have a bigger problem than you had this year. And some people go like, well, why don't we take care of the problem when it's small? Because we want a bigger problem. What's the bigger problem? A bigger tax bill. But the way you get a bigger tax bill is you create bigger revenue. So you're putting more money in to have a bigger problem next year. And then you take that year and you put more in to have a bigger problem next year. So, you know, the pessimist people are going like, well, you're going to eventually have to solve it. And you go, it's kind of like an IUL. No, because you're going to die. Like, you know, we buy shirts. They're it's an expense, right? Well, I got to buy me a shirt because it's right? But if I turn into the IRS, I was buying clothes to wear to work, that's a no bueno, that's a no good, right? But if you say, hey, we bought 47 t-shirts and I get one and Jane gets one for free, just like you got one for free, does that make sense? Yeah. Does that make sense? So you're really trying to build a mountain, build a bigger problem, build a bigger revenue, a bigger flow of money coming in. And I need to slow down because I know there's people like this is really bizarre to them. That they don't see it like I see it, like snow coming in and the plow is pushing and it just keeps pushing it up like that. I almost like don't know how other people see it because I've heard this so long now in my life. Begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey and Think and Grow Rich and Robert Kiyosaki, and studying those things that they almost make, maybe it's not all right, but it made it sound like making 10,000 today is not as good as creating 1,000 a month today. And then it is up to you to decide, because I have some good friends that they are like, I'm gonna make 500,000 and I'm not gonna have any headaches, I'm not gonna have any problems, and I'm gonna pay taxes. And I'm like, oh my, like to me, I'm like, oh, that's like, I'm gonna take a toothpick and I'm gonna stick it in my fingernail and then I'm gonna use that fingernail to scratch my back with. I'm like, oh, the back scratching sounds good, but God, getting there and giving the government you money you made, I'm like, really? But don't get me wrong, in your world or in their world, this sounds strange, what I'm saying. So I kind of like slow down and go like, if you got questions about it, let's review it. Or have you read Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki? Or have you played the cash flow game? You know, your goal is not to go round and round and pile up money. And they won't pay, there's no taxes in the cash flow game either, is it? They didn't get into that. So I guess it looks better there. You got your money piling up.
There's a spot that says taxes.
Hold it, Mike.
There's a spot on the board game that's like tax. I think it's also a doodad, right? Yeah, and then on the big.
Oh, that's funny. Doodad's a tax. But the concept of kicking the problem down the road, the concept of not paying this year and paying that next year, but then next year go like, I'm not paying this year, and keep building it. Maybe you get to the point where you're making $300,000 a month. You're like, I don't know what to do with the money, and I hope I want to get you there. But when I got there, I started buying real estate, and I wish I had put it here and kept building that residual income. It was interesting and fun, but when I look at all my money over there, I'm making what everybody else makes in real estate, which is 7% or 6% or 8%. Now, I'm not selling real estate. I know you can print money out of thin air with real estate. Once you get the client to agree to a $500,000 purchase, then you got to get the bank to agree. Then you got to fix, oh God, it's a nightmare to close it. But that's different. That's printing money. But if you're an investor, you're not going to make stupid money. But over time, the appreciation, understanding appreciation, not paying taxes, selling it at higher than you bought it, and then rolling it into another one and resetting. I don't want to get into too much of that. I don't try to be a real estate expert, but you reset the depreciation. You're writing off expenses, but you write it off over time, so you get a bigger number to write off. This one, buddy of mine told me this. He said, if the public understand this, they would have been in an outrage. When you die and you pass your real estate to your kids, everything resets. So all the expenses, so if you've paid it down, if you've written off 20 years, they get to start writing it off. If it's a 30-year write-off, they get to start writing it off again after you're gone. It resets like, oh my God. So ideally, we have $1 billion worth of real estate, you know, think Trump's, right? $1 billion worth of real estate, and when they pass, the next generation writes it off again. You with me? That one's crazy. So that's ultimately what we decided to do with that. We said, all right, let's push it down the road rather than taking the money down. But it's hard. It is hard not to take the money now. You know what I mean? Like you could, like I got all this money and you want me to reinvest. You don't want me to buy a doodad. You don't want me to buy a car. You don't want me to buy a stereo system. Yeah, I do want you to buy all that. The problem is it's got to be after taxes. So if we push it down the road, and also let's figure out a way to buy it with tax. How do we buy that with tax money? But when you're tiny and you buy something with tax money, it's called illegal. But when you're big and you buy it with tax money, it's called a write-off. It's called a legit write-off.
So come to the leadership cabin and learn these things.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So come to the leadership cabin and learn these things because it's pretty cool.
All right, what else? What's another item that's hit you?
Well, kind of down.
Mike.
Oh. Just kind of down that same.
Deer horn.
Yeah, down that same kind of path where, you know, obviously you want to be able to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, but the one thing that you didn't was what you can't take back is your children growing up and stuff. So that hits for me because that's what I concern is.
Which is what I told you. We never cut anything. We were smart, but we didn't cut with our kids.
Yeah.
Well, we cut with us, but not with the kids. And then when the kids got incredible trips, we got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were tagging along. And we spent when we traveled, we stay in a suite, which is nicer than our house. Oftentimes it was nicer than our house, and didn't feel bad when we come back home because we were home.
Yeah.
You know. All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
What's next on your list?
I'm gonna piggyback real quick off of
Please do.
what she said about you don't get time back and memories back. So if you're gonna spend money on those things, but invest most of it back in your business. But because I got very, I would say maybe too tunnel visioned on the sense of I gotta pay off debt, I gotta do this, I gotta do business expenses, but stopped living, if that makes sense.
You're telling me about your couch story.
Oh yeah. So I think it was before family reunion. Marnie and I needed a couch, and we walk into Haverty's, and then we're sitting on couches, have an $8,000 one, and then finally we come across this like $22,000 couch. She really liked it.
Isn't it crazy how you like the more expensive ones? Isn't that weird like
that? It
that?
had a lifetime warranty. And we could have bought it, which is nice.
Yeah, to know that you could fit a $25,000 couch.
We instead went to Rooms To Go and got the $3,000 couch, but we could have bought it. But it's just those memories that you get to live out. I was excited that I was able to surprise her with her dream trip to Italy for this winter. Because time is sensitive. She's only going to be here so long.
Have you done this already, or are you going to do it? It's on the agenda. The Italy.
Oh no, it's going to be in December.
Okay, she hadn't done it yet.
No.
Well, tell us. Can you? Talk about it. What is the plan?
Yeah. So in December we're flying into Venice. spending a couple of days there. We're going to Florence, Tuscany, Rome, Pompeii, Amalfi Coast. So we're going to be there for 11 total days.
Now, did you check with Jason and Olga and see if it was okay to be at off work? She didn't even check with Mama. She didn't even check with Mama.
I've been in the business long enough. I know the December, the middle of December, we fly back on the 24th of December, so we get to be back for Christmas and then get working.
This is mean, but it is crazy to have a lady in her 20s who understands the schedule and don't schedule stuff right in the middle of stuff. And you get somebody 50 years old and they go, well, I didn't know. And I'm not going, look at that crew. He like, oh, you didn't know? Well, like, they're not going to do good with the green glass door. They're not going to go with that. Like, it's a pattern. It's when, I got my scheduled. I got one scheduled in December and one in February, because I know these are squeeze in 11 days, 14 days, make stuff happen, and create experiences or memories.
Oh, yeah.
So that ties into the A-level experiences, because if you spend time with C, even B or C level experiences, then you don't have the vacation time, you don't have the money, because you spread it among, like, the mean way to say it is with poor friends. You know what I mean? Because they can't afford it. So you go to that concert, you go to that lake, you go to that thing that the poor people, and then you never get to do the stupid stuff. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to them, but I am trying to get you to quit hanging out with them. It's just. One young lady told her husband, she said, we can't afford to go with that couple. And he's like, we make like 10 times more than them. She's like, exactly. We can't afford to listen to what they're going to say for 3 days. Like, it's just terrible. And she refused to go. And I was like, you go, girl. You know, and it could sound, what do you call it, arrogant or something like that you don't want to hang around with the certain amount of people. Like, we're trying to win. You know what I mean? We're trying to win, so we're hanging around people that can help us win. And I do get, well, how did you do it? I don't know. I got a text yesterday from one of my best buddies growing up. And she was like, I was following a Rolls Royce, and I thought to myself, I bet that's Andy Albright, you know? And she was like, I'll never forget Ms. Alexander's class. And I was like, I love you. I'd love to see you sometime. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to schedule it. But, you know, so I'd love to see, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see you sometime. I really would like to. I really would enjoy it. Like, I really would. So why don't you do it? It's like, well, I don't know if I can afford it. You know what I mean? Like that time. And then people go like, well, I get rich, I'll do what I want to do. Like, I do what I want to do, but I'm still on a habit. I still got that habit of trying to do, because if I do that, that's time I'm not going to do with you. And I don't know if that's fair. You know what I mean? I know I can afford to talk to you, but I don't know if I can afford to her. You know, because I know what it's talking to you is going to give me massive ROI versus talking to her, it's going to give me, you know, I mean, warm feelings, but, you know, same as Dumb and Dumber, right? You remember that when he's riding down the road, he says, I'm cold. He says, me too. So he said, I got an idea. So he pees on each other, you know. So it's a warm feeling. You can't argue with that. People argue with me. They want me to argue. I said, I'm not arguing with you. You're right. It's good. Or like, you know, I'm making $1, and I go like, you know, you can make 100 over here. And they go, yeah, but every dollar helps. I go, you're right. But that time doing this, you couldn't have done that. You know. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you're doing it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. You know, it's going to be a different change, because we haven't done something like this.
But I am confused how you do this without talking to your partner and your mom and telling her you committed all this money.
She knows I calculated that if we had the money to...
So it was an unspoken communication thing.
Yeah, like if I went ahead and did it, then yeah, we're good.
Good. I want.
That wild pack of animals came back at you.
Be out there in Tennessee or something.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback again.
All right, piggyback.
So my situation's a little different than maybe Janet or Sabrina because I don't have a child, and I don't.
She got her mama.
And I take my mom on one trip a year with the Alliance, and that's it. So it's a little different. So I mean, that's good enough. I hope she's not watching this. I love my mom, but she enjoys hanging out with everyone else, but I don't know a one-on-one trip. So when you were
I'm with you, brother. Sister.
So
I know.
when you were talking about reinvesting in my business, honestly, I'm like a little upset at myself because I call myself an entrepreneur, and I've done other stuff before where I had to invest in my business, and I don't know what I'm doing with the money that I have sitting in my bank account that I've made with the Alliance, and I could 10x what I'm doing. And I'm a little upset at myself, but just like coming here and hearing you talk about it and then everyone else talk about it, I think that was like a wake-up call to me, like, what am I doing? I could be reinvesting and making a lot more money in my business. And again, I call myself an entrepreneur, so it's something that I have to do,
So you have decided. You've decided.
I've
You're gonna
decided.
do it. You're gonna do it.
You know what I mean? Jelly bean.
I do know what you mean. Because somebody asked me, do you want me to put everything back in? I said, I don't care what you do. It's not my life. Now, if you say, will this help me get to multi-million sooner? Yes. That's a different question than do I want you to? Because I don't care. You're not my kid. I just, so I'm gonna live. I'm gonna fly first class and get a suite, whether you do it or not. But if you're asking me what helps, so I did not put everything I made back in. I put more than I made. Like the first 3 years doing this, I put way more back in than I was making. How did you live, Andy? Well, I didn't have many bills. Number one, I was not in debt. So if you'd have found me, you found somebody that wasn't in bad debt. So if you find a person in bad debt, that's what you got to deal with. I was not in bad debt, and we had a very, very meager, just a very sensible lifestyle. Used cars that we had, small. My uniform, my wardrobe was small, and it was very consistent. It was very business. The white shirts and the black pants. I didn't spend money on clothes. Didn't spend money eating out. We cooked, eat sandwiches, crock pot cooking. We were very conservative like that. It's also weird, like it's very healthy too. It wasn't Burger King cheap. It was at home sandwiches cheap. So I put more than I was making back in, and I didn't feel like it was sacrificing. I was looking at the prize, jacked up out of my mind about the prize. I was so excited about the prize. I didn't pay much attention to the fight that I was in, the battle that I was in. And then you got an all-expense trip. Like to me, you got one all-expense first-class trip a year. That's what we were doing. Actually, before insurance. We'd working so hard at Amway, it was for that once-a-year trip that we got. Unfortunately, with there, you didn't have any money to take a second trip. You were broke on that trip thinking, whew, we ain't got to put no tips on nobody or nothing like that. We didn't have no tip money, Here you do. You can take all expense trip with us together and have a blast time and schedule your own. And I love what Mike and Noel are doing with their kids and some of their members of their family flying around different parts of the world and doing bike tours. That is so cool to me. I'm like, oh man, can you imagine just seeing new countrysides and new new cultures, new food with all your family like that every year. It's kind of crazy. All right, what else? What else you thinking?
Well, just going back to what you were talking about is like just changing to become the person that I want to be, and talking with you and trying, playing those games, finding the patterns and trying to figure out what you're trying to tell me without just like telling me or trying to figure it out.
This is big. Mm-hmm. Getting her to figure it out without just telling her everything about it. I just heard that this morning. He was like, the philosopher said, if I tell you, then all that is a shortcut that will not last. Mm-hmm. Until it's who you are and you get it, then it's not the same thing.
And I think I'm like trying to pay attention so hard because I'm always like, what is he trying to say? So like I'm really paying attention and being more intentional.
Do you think
about
that
it.
is that a big shift for you to really try to figure out what's really going on?
Oh yeah, before sometimes I would walk away and be like, what the hell was he saying? Now I'm like, what are you saying? I'm gonna figure it out.
This is a big deal. Who's my Chinese numbers people that know what it is? Almost everybody. Do what?
I said I'm still confused.
You still confused on Chinese numbers?
Yeah.
Give me a fork and a knife. Patrick's on it.
I was lost.
Yeah. So I just want to encourage the managers out there. Now, first of all, if you're not growing, your pattern is wrong. In other words, it's not going to be like if this person's growing like crazy and they say they're finding some really good people, and then you tell me all the people are duds, I'm going like, that's like saying we had a terrible year growing corn this year, and across the street, they're getting bushels and bushels of corn. It's like, when did you plant it? December 13th? You go, I shouldn't have put it on 13th, should have been on 14th. No, December, no. You know what I mean? Like the pattern is not right. But what if on December 13th you get all the field right and irrigation and you plant them in the fertile soil and you irrigate? But if that's not the time for planting, just because you're working does not mean anything to me. I'm looking at the ears of corn coming up. So what if this, it's going to be very hard to get on video, is like what I'm conveying to y'all, but is getting you what you said. Say it again. To learn it. Say it again. Explain, to learn the pattern.
Yeah, to figure it out, the pattern, to pay attention, to look for the answer without getting like just a regular direct answer and figuring it out myself because there's a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I stopped and told you what I'm doing every time, now I can't get anything accomplished. But if you see the pattern, go like, oh, and then the more you hang around, you'll say, I've seen this pattern again. It's kind of like from green grass door to the green power to the Chinese numbers. It's it's types of patterns that you can learn to copy. And you got to stay vigilant. You got to stay diligent. So, because some people, and this is me a lot of times. I don't care. You can't win no money. I'm not going to win the game. You mean like I don't care. But like with Monopoly, I liked it because it was winning money. Even though you couldn't spend it, I was like imagining I could spend it, or cash flow quadrant. So we do this pattern of Chinese numbers. So y'all got to say it loud for them. So I do a pattern, and once I indicate that I have created a pattern, then they tell you the number, like immediately. Okay, y'all ready? What is that number? 5. Okay, so that number is 5. Did you? No. Yeah, give her the mic. Okay. So Janet, watch this, okay? You ready? Watch this. What is this?
1.
Okay, do you see the pattern?
One finger. I have no.
One finger. We're doing the
I
Chinese
know, but I'm trying
numbers.
to look into other clues maybe.
Well, watch
I
my
don't
eyes.
know. Oh.
Watch my knees. Watch my ears. Your job is to figure it out and guess it. Okay. Do you know what number that is right there?
3.
Okay. Tell them what it is. 4. Okay. So for y'all out there, if y'all see what we're doing, if you picked up on it, then you're a good pattern picker-upper. But if you're not, maybe you need to start looking close and going like, is he winking? Is he whispering signals that each one of them have headsets? Did he build a way to cheat? No, it's right in front of your face. So like this guy, I've not seen him get a winner in his organization in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Goofball, mediocre, at best, kind of pitiful. Like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like, what's your method to find a good person? And then they start telling me like I care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, it ain't working. Mm-hmm. Stop it. It would be like you going, 6, 7, 8, 3, right, 3, you got it. You know what I mean? Like, are you not trying to see what we're doing? Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I'm trying.
You want to guess one more time?
I still don't.
All right, you can guess one more time. You ready? You ready? And what is that right there?
4.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay. Tell them what the number is. 3. Everybody sees it as a 3. So.
This is not my game.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. But I'll learn it by the end of the day today. Yeah, I'll go find the answer.
But here's the thing. So why don't you just tell her to answer it and we can move on? Well, watch this. I did. It's called the 8 steps. Mm-hmm. It's called the 8 steps. And then people take the 8 steps and then don't copy it. Or they say something like this. Yeah, I know it says read, so what I do is listen a lot. You're like, what? 7, 6. You know what I mean? Like I gave you the pattern. Or I tell you that I don't work with anybody that don't do the 8. Mm-hmm. And you go like, but I've seen you super nice to this lady and I know she don't never work. I go like, being nice is not work to me. And it's actually not nice because in my head, I'm thinking evil stuff. You know what I mean? It's not nice. I'm just like, hey. But in my head, it's very judgmental. So I'm telling you. But you still got to, it still needs to resonate how I'm getting there and what I'm doing. And I'm not the only person in the world that's ever done this, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll see some people's in the organization, they'll get on fire. Like they were asking me, Ryan Chang is on fire right now. Mm-hmm. And he's got to stay in that groove. You ever played anything, golf or you've shot in basketball and you're like, holy, you hit 4 in a row, you're like, don't change. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you can't hit the side of a barn, and you're like, what do I do differently? And sometimes you need a coach. You go like, well, first of all, you used to hold the ball like this, and some reason you started holding the ball like that. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, well. So it is coaching, but you're thinking the whole time as opposed to spending a person say, now dribble, now pass, now shoot. You're getting patterns of when it's open. Or when to drive hard, when not to drive hard because you're going to get a charge. Mm-hmm. You with me? Oh, and it's so many analogies with sports, like with the fouls. You get 5 fouls in basketball, and then you come back, you're like, hey, I didn't get no fouls. I like, you had 5. And they're like, yeah, but you don't have to use them. No, you don't have to use them, but you can. Mm-hmm. And usually, you mess them up. There's times you need to foul and make it count. Don't foul when it don't matter. Or don't make somebody mad when it don't matter.
I always said fouling is just when you get caught.
Ooh. So you're telling me you could foul more than 5 times, you just can't get caught.
Yeah.
But the thinking, and so I'm telling you this, what I wish you would figure it out, which is use them. You know what I mean? Use the fouls. But until until you can look at somebody else and go, why would you not use the fouls? Now you are in that pattern because you start saying it and you start believing it, and then you start doing it. You with me? And people go like, what is foul analogy in this business? It's when, was you gonna say something?
For failing, just trying something and messing up and getting past it quick. And
it's when the enemy gets hit. Like, for example, you're in a house and you say something about when they die, and then they go, I'm not gonna die. And you go, you got cancer now. You with me? And they go, yeah, we're not buying anything from you.
That's a foul.
That's foul. That's a foul. But if you learn how, you might need to every once in a while to get your mind right. You know what I mean? But if you hit them with a, God, what did you say you're going through right now? And they go, cancer. You know, that's kind of a foul you got away with, but you've learned how far you can push it. Okay? Now when it comes to building a team, you know, you hurt my feelings. I go, sorry about that. It's a flag. It's a foul. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Because it's not like you're going to die. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. If you start coaching a person that's too sensitive, like everything offends, oh, did you say Obama's name? Like, yeah, I did. Or Jesus. You know what I mean? That sensitivity, you're like, this person's not going to make it. You know what I mean? Because then you can't talk to them ever. Because you might say bread, and they'd be like, you're saying white, aren't you? No, I was talking about getting something to eat, as a matter of fact. But you know, that makes it a foul where you say something that kind of gets into the quick, gets into the tender, gets into the pain point. You with me? So, but if you never ever foul in a game that you're allowed to foul some, you don't have that tool that you can use. Does that make sense? But again, I'm telling you it, but I wish you would come to that conclusion. And so I guess how do you come to that conclusion after you've explained it to me? Go do it and mess up bad and call me back laughing about how bad it went. Don't call me back crying. Tell me how it went, because you're going to get laughed at. Facts?
Facts.
Facts. Tell them a little bit about, just your experience with that, because the laughing part. And
Well, a couple things. So, like, your emergency is not their emergency. And normally, if you're going through something, they've been through the same thing or something much worse. So, with your upline. So, been there, done that. You know, kind of like a lot of us, I think everyone's rope business in here is like your first charge back, but you have a new agent that like is melting down over their first charge back. It's my life's over. But you know, it's the same kind of deal. It's just little problems turn into bigger problems, turn into bigger problems. The problems never go away. It's just how you face them.
So here's a pattern that happened to Mia Fennell right here. She made some decisions. I think amusing decisions. And so she called me and she told me her decision. So what did I do? I allow it. And for a while, I was like, I'm gonna see how long she listens to me laugh, you know. Well, she wasn't thrilled with the answer, so she called Terry Edwards, and guess what he did? Laughed. And then, see, so if Terry had have said, oh, darling, let me walk you through it, I would have went, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Because we both, it's like tag team. I'm beating the snot out of the guy's leg. You know, I'm elbowing it, I'm kicking it, I'm twisting it. He comes in and starts beating him on the head. I'm like, you fool. I just spent all this energy. Now their leg's recovering while you're hitting them in the head. They're going to kick me with a leg. You amputate, let's get on it. You know what I mean? So when he laughed and I laughed, that pattern was interrupt for you, the pattern interrupt, like you'll never forget it. Or if he'd have done something like that, maybe you remember me laughing, you remember him trying to explain, but now all of a sudden I'm the guy, not him the guy. But this way, we're both the guy. And I didn't tell him that pattern. I didn't go like, here's what you do if they do this. It was funny. And it's funny like that, your job is to laugh. And not like this. You got to give him you got to give it to him, you know what I mean? And by the way, that's the energy. So think about this. You know how he's talking about sitting in a team meeting at somebody's house or your downline? Practice the energy and excitement. Like the energy and excitement y'all had is like, if each one of y'all go back and get 10 or 15 people, what's going to happen? They join in. They can't help it. Yeah, I'm going to say, Instagram, like if you're watching the right stuff, I like the one where they're getting on an elevator and everybody's got on a helmet and there's a helmet laying in the floor and the guy gets on the elevator and he looks at the helmet, he looks at him, he looks at the helmet, and he gets the helmet and puts it on. You know, like, what the hell's going on here? That's the way it works. I can't get my guy to recruit. Well, if everybody's recruiting, he's going to join in. But if 3 of you are not recruiting and 4 of you are, and a guy joins your team, he can pick whatever he wants. It's almost 50-50. Worse, if it's 4 ain't and 3 are, and then he joins, he's going to pick the easy way out where he don't do anything. So you're creating, you're creating patterns. And then some people are like, well, it's fake laughter. Well, what we do this, I'm going to talk about our favorite table, but I don't want to give away all our secrets, but it's figuring out a way that you stir things up. And it's funny because after you fake it, then it's natural. Like right behind the fake, it's legit laughing. Right beyond the fake excitement, there's genuine excitement. So who's the one that puts the pattern out front? You are. That's right. This, you know, just don't get excited and think they understand, Olga. But it is a big deal what you're thinking and what you're conveying. So if I'm thinking you like me, that's this look. If you're thinking I don't like you, then you give me this look, and then I get the response, and it's just instant manifestation of a bad thought. It don't always work. No, nothing. I've not known anything to always work. I've seen people shoot in the head and the bullet goes around. You know, for some reason it didn't go in. Not everything works, right? Not every time. But statistics are, you shoot them in the head, they're going out. If you say this, it's going to work. If you laugh, if you think positive, this is not loosey-toosey, oh, I think positive, I'm going to have a big business. No. This is like that person really looks familiar to me. So when I go up to them and I say, you look familiar, I mean it. We were traveling the other day and I was like, there's Mia Fennell right there. There's Alex Fitzgerald right there. And there's Tim McCoy right there. It was people that had the look. And they'd always go like, it does look like them. But it's really because maybe they did look a little bit, but once I say it, it steps out. So when I'm saying you look familiar, I mean it. I'm not faking. Or am I? Does that make sense? Yeah, it's you can't tell. What else did you have? What was on your mind?
You know, I got to talk about, you know, the 3 things that I've learned from you for the last couple of months. I definitely like your points with magic, and it's a magic trick and a magic show, and
tell them
keep it magic. You never, kind of like the Chinese numbers and everything, you never reveal the answers to the magic trick, but the people in the inner circle that know the magic trick, it's their responsibility to keep that magic going. In Cabo, we did a really cool magic trick, and I'm not going to explain it, but well, actually, no, we figured it out. No, we didn't. You told us. No, you told us. Because there was someone saying like, oh, I know how you did it, but he didn't have it right.
Or did somebody mess it up and you
No.
figured it out?
No, you told me later. Because you wanted me a part of the magic trick.
I needed you.
Yeah.
I had to cheat because I needed a.
Because you wanted to layer up the magic trick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make it a miracle. I want to take it from a trick to a miracle. I'm not going to do it in front of them, but we should do the miracle. Not just the trick, but the miracle part where it's just like, oh my God. I used to push this a lot with my inner circle, and it's funny, you get away from it. Like, I would tell them, if just one of us does the magic trick, it'll be good. If 2 of us are involved in a trick, it's insane. 3, it's a miracle. When it gets to be 50, it's a cult. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's you know what I mean? Because it creates momentum on its own. But you have to create momentum on your team. You can't get it going and then stop it. Get it going and stop it. It's just, it has to, same thing with your income. Think about that. If you make a lot of money and spend it, and then next year, we got to start all over with the same ingredients that we had last year. Oh my God. You know, it'd be like owning a restaurant and you don't buy any new utensils or no new fancy gadgets or no new fancy cook or no new fancy bartender. You've got the same stuff you had last year and you got to make all that money again. Versus if you double down, the next year it's easier to do what you did last year, but you'd be mad if you repeat. You want to grow next year and you got more resources to do it. So it's the same thing with magic. If you got 4 partners or 5 partners, you could leave a partner out for that illusion and not miss them. But if another person comes along and you pull them in, next thing everybody's buying in. It's just creating your momentum of your company.
Kind of like here, like with the patterns. It's like I'm kind of getting obsessed with the patterns, but like
get obsessed with the patterns.
Like being here, okay, this is how I could explain it, what I was trying to explain in the beginning. Like if I do this, everyone's gonna start doing it and I barely even know what this is. And now it's like, it's magic and we all do it. What happens at the cabin? Stays at the cabin. Like a cult. And it's crazy. And like watching the numbers, like Janet, it's so simple. Like I did it with you at Pragos like a long time ago and I felt like an idiot and I was looking for everything else, but it's like really simple. Like the 8 steps work. Recruits will ask you, well, what do you mean? Well, what leads do you get? Like, do you do stuff, like, or you're doing something different? Just work, just dial. Like it's so simple and you're reading into everything. Just be around the person doing it and just freaking do it. It's so simple. And you, like he's, like I feel like you're trying to mess her up a little bit and she's looking at everything else. It's so simple. Stop trying to read into it so bad. And that I feel like is what everybody does. It's like just copy and duplicate. I don't know why the hell we're doing this. And like
if you're gonna do something, do this. That's the wolf pack.
No.
Oh,
No,
whatever.
You're not in on it.
I'm not in on it and I don't want to.
I just copy. I don't even know.
Rita stuff. It's Rita stuff. You work by the fire pit.
Oh,
Okay, whatever.
But it's just like, and it's not fake. Like none of this is fake. But you just do it, like becoming the person that I want to be. It's like we're just all doing it. And it looks, if someone came in here, they would think like it's a cult and it's fake, but it's not. And it just like kind of happens. Like I didn't know a lot of you before I came here, and we're just kind of like all duplicating and like listening and just like it's so simple, but it seems so complicated and like everyone reads into it so much and it's like, no, it's fake, they're doing something different. No, just get around to duplicate and it's simple. So that's what I was trying to explain.
Keep holding it. I got a mic. I'm out. I'm out. They give me another pattern. Haley goes and joins the sorority, you know, and they're sitting around, and she's one of the leaders, and they're talking about we're going to get the dads to come in and clean up, because they bought this new house and it was overgrown with shrubbery and plants and trees, and she's like, yeah. Wait, what? And they said, our dads will come in and bring chainsaws, and she said, Dad's out. And they said, how do you know? Said, I mean, she didn't say it, but I know his pattern. He's out. She said, can he send someone with a chainsaw? And they're like, yeah. She said, he'll do that. He's in. We're good. He'll send somebody that can use a chainsaw and ain't scared of getting hurt. He won't get hurt. But it's a pattern. He's out.
Yeah.
What did you? Something stirred in you?
Sorry, my mind goes 100 miles an hour sometimes. Like the pattern that you were talking about just now, and like Haley figured it out over the years. Like our people should figure it out on our patterns, and if they really want it, it's that simple. We have to stick to a pattern for ourselves, for them to recreate and duplicate. And if it's not a pattern, how can they? Even if you don't say, do this, do this, do this, the actions speak louder than words. You can say it all day long, but if you're not doing it, they can't repeat it. So, I mean, of course, that's a simplistic way of saying it, but it gives me chills a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you nailed down with just make the dials. So these are jamming up. I've done week after week of these. It's intense. I was talking to the guys and I was like, tell me the problem. And the guy was like, I didn't make as many sales as I wanted to. It's like, how many dials do you make? It's funny how many people would not ask them how many dials they made. They start talking to them about, you need to be ambitious, you don't need to be, they come up with this paragraph of words. And it's really, it's impressive.
Yeah.
The words are impressive. And they're right. But it's not my pattern.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to pick my pattern, because they don't want to make him mad. They don't want to foul. They don't want nobody upset with them. They don't want to call them. You with me? So how many dollars you make? So I just did the whiteboard. How many dollars you make? All right, how many picked up? And it's just a math equation. And then I get a couple other people and I compare their numbers and I go, do you see the pattern?
Yeah.
And if they don't see the pattern, you go like, guess what the pattern is.
Yeah.
You know, and you get them
It's
to
just a formula. It's just a formula.
Yeah, it's a formula, it's a pattern, it's an equation, it's a recipe,
But
it's a
simple
script.
because if you're around it, like I would go listen to Olga when I was new, and I heard what she was doing, and I just did exactly what she was doing. Like, and it was simple. I didn't even need the whole formula. I would just do exactly what she did, you know? So.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you, you had 3/4 or you had a higher percentage of the formula when you walked onto the stage. That comes down to picking a person, as you said, the gift of gab, or a person that can fit in with CEOs or paupers, with ditch diggers or kings, or guys making $1 million or a guy making $15 an hour. So that person that already has that formula in their body for whatever reason, you've been selling custom tennis shoes and other things. So you had some kind of a formula. So when Olga comes in and starts teaching, you already kind of knew what to do. But then instead of going all out in left field trying to think of what she's doing, you just went right to the heart of the matter and said, this is what she's doing.
I said, yeah, how much money do I need to spend and what do I have to do? And I watched her do it.
And you know the pattern that Olga talks about, she calls people, they say hello, and she hangs up. Not the right pattern. But that was her pattern for a long time. And then she had a pattern of 20 phone calls, drive 8 hours, make 20 phone calls, drive 8 hours back. Not a good pattern. And then all of a sudden, her pattern became, I'm going to call the whole time. So like that was it. That would be like every time I give a number, then you should guess when they're guessing. And you're more likely to figure it out if you guess when they guess as opposed to waiting. Just jump in there and I think you'll see it. And then you'll know it for yourself. Then you don't have to watch and listen to them. You just do it. But the number thing is huge because you cut through a lot of words. God with the words. And it's so funny, great. Yeah, and I say a lot in 3 hours straight. As opposed to 1 point. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. And then we did the one sheeters. Y'all see how that narrowed down the talk when I gave you the pattern, and here's the one sheet, here's a GS3. By the way, Annalisa Liza here. Alexis, that's Annalie. She is a pattern. She watched the training on GS3. Did anybody else venture to watch it? You did? You did? So
I got the link.
yeah, you got the link. So they watched it, and she was like, it's really short, and it's really good, and it was worth it. So there you go. So it's really, so we taught the GS3 from a sheet of paper, and it's just a tool or a pattern that you can use with people, and it gives you the words. But you can't do it like a check. You got to do it with enthusiasm. It's like the questioning game. If I say, "Where'd you get the hat?" You go, "Where'd you get the shoes?" I go, "Where'd you get your ears? Where'd you get your nose?" It's like, come on, man. You have to work it. Like it's like Salt Bay. Is that the guy? And me and Spencer went to Salt Bay in Turkey, and we had to they give you the salt, because you just put it on like that, or like that, and like that. No bueno. It's the way this guy salts his steaks, and it's nope. That's not it. You gotta get it back like that. Yeah, some of it don't bounce off your arm. You ain't got it back enough yet. You know. And everybody, like a lot of people were not doing it like that. We're videoing it, and they were like looking at us. I was like, all right, something wrong with them. You know, we got the pattern now. You know? All right. What else? What else is good for our people? Now, before you tell them about the food.
Oh, it's amazing.
It really was.
The desserts, especially.
Did y'all know he called that peach cobbler that we had last night?
Oh my God, it was
That was not peach cobbler.
I don't think that was cheesecake last night either, though.
No,
the night before.
No, last night.
last night was chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah, but that.
Night before was,
No idea, but it was.
that was not peach cobbler. They said peach cobbler, and I pictured, an ice crisp, milk, and peaches. No, there was no milk.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, whatever it was.
Steak, salads, chicken. I mean, it's been top tier. Everything's been cooked to perfection.
Chef Jaime has nailed it.
Yeah. So I think like the point in the segue into that is like everything's so intentional here. The staff, the gifts, the food, even the activities we do. Like you have someone hand holding. We're a bunch of females. We're like, we don't want to touch that fish. The minnows and the bait. A lot of people were like, mm-mm. But it's all intentional. And then I'm looking to have my staff be that and my staff to do that.
Copy.
Copy. I see
Copy,
the
rinse.
pattern and I want to copy the pattern.
Copy, rinse, repeat. What about you? Other than the learning and that, what about the atmosphere, the place,
Oh, this is heaven for me. I mean, ride around on a side-by-side. I even went on a run and left your property, even it's just pretty around the area. Yeah, just everyone's so great, and being able to have more one-on-one conversation, played dominoes late at night after everyone goes to bed with like 3 of us. It was really fun. It was a good time.
Good.
So far, and a lot more.
So the next 2 are completely sold out. So we're selling what we can't sell. If we have a slot open, we will let you know, but there is not 1 slot open at all. We did have 1 slot open, and Big Mike slid in there, and I said that one's completely sold out. And the one is, I think, 95% women. And the way we're getting away with that is we got the 4 private rooms up there, so some couples are there. So the guys are coming with their wife, and then they're going to come into the cabin. So here was 100%. There was no guys involved here. My first reaction was, inside voice, God. If I see one of y'all at NBC not screaming and talking loud, I'm going, what happened to you? Full of energy at the cabin. And you got to bring your team back trained. You got to get them. All right. How about you? What do you think?
I mean, the chef was great, but Emily, the bartender. Yeah, and the staff's amazing.
Someone went back there.
Like, we were fishing and Andrew's help. Like, I have like bait service. They're putting bait on my. My shit was getting all tangled, and then they'd fix it. And Noelle's over here, my personal photographer. So it's great. I love it. So I'm just like, how can I get to this more often? And I want to go back home, and I'm like, how can I get like to this level?
How can you get other people here?
Exactly.
How can you take one whole bunk room? It's your team.
Yeah, Janet and I were talking about that. I'm like, imagine we had people here. Like.
Well, I can tell you. I mean, it's when I'm working with somebody, I'm doing my damnedest to get them in an atmosphere like this, because it's like what we said. If everybody's doing it, my person that I've got in there is going to start that pattern. They can't help, but they can't fight the pattern because they're looking around like, I guess it's okay. And that's how things like this get built. Is you can force one person. Like right now, y'all got you mom and daughter, it's 2 of you. You get on the same pattern, and then you get Danny on the same pattern. They got 3. You bring one person in that's worthy of training, right? Because some people, like if they can't, we say chew chewing gum and walk at the same time. You know, some people they didn't get up and walk, and they're not chewing while they walk because they're just not that coordinated. And people get on me like, you can't be judgmental. I appreciate it. I'm not judgmental. I'm trying to decide where to put my time and who's that 4th person to bring in and get them to adopt the pattern. Okay, what's the dates on NBC? Who's got it? October 16, 17, 18. It's the full day estate planning. When is that? 1 p.m. on October 16th. 1 p.m. on October 16th will be estate planning training from 1 o'clock till, what is it, 1 to 5. So 4 hours, and then it starts back over 9 to 12? Yes. Is that right? 9 to 12? So if you don't want to do estate planning, don't come to that. Come on Thursday night. But if you want to come to estate planning, make sure you get there by 1 on Thursday. You don't have to pay extra for that. The best estate planning people in the country are going to be here. The carriers are going to be here. How close, is Tia back there? How close are we to putting out the breakouts?
I can tell you right now they're ready.
We got them? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to say a breakout is at 10 o'clock, and here's your 4 choices. Then there's one at 11 o'clock, and here's your 4 choices. So it's going to be a survey that comes out. But whatever you put on the survey is what you're attending. So you don't have a ticket to go. You got a survey lines up with what you said. Does that make sense? Because here's what we're going to do. If it's me and Sabrina and Janet and Olga that's on the lineup, somebody's got to have the big room and somebody's got to have a small room. So if nobody votes for you, Olga, you're in a small room. If they don't, a survey, so you get a small room. But if everybody, if 9 out of 10 pick Olga, oh gosh, she's gonna have to be in a big room, and then I go to a small room. So, and it's really, we try to put a big variety. And by the way, I want to answer this for the people that was. We love feedback. We love suggestions. Like breakouts is something that really people pushed me for, and we started doing it from surveys. But the survey question that you answer back and say, we would like bigger breaks and more content. That one is hard to fulfill. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, wouldn't that take longer if we had more hours of teaching and had less breaks? So that's not a pattern I can copy, if you know what I'm saying. Like, they don't understand patterns. And the other thing is this, like, I want to go to all the breakouts. See, I can't help you with that. Because, you know, if I have 4, I'm not going to repeat this one here, here, and here, because then it's not options. You're basically going to everything, which we might as well come back to main stage. Woo! These are the people. These are our people that you don't waste a lot. They're good people with good ideas, but woo, it won't work. Does that make sense? So you'll get to, and oh, by the way, you should check. If you're not 100% sure, you should check with your upline. Say, look, I'm torn between these 4. Which one do you think, or between these 2? There's 4 options. I'm torn between these 2. If you're torn between 3, that's kind of weird. Pick the 2 best in your upline, like this one or that one, and they can push you towards it. Okay? And then this way, now we don't have stopping at the door to look at your tickets. Like, your survey, good. Your survey, you're good. All right? And you're not there, and they go, ready, go to your breakout, and you're like, which one to go to? Which, by the way, that was a suggestion that we had is, I can't decide what to go in 2 seconds, and by the time I decided, the room was full. I go, legit feedback on our survey that we went out. We got to tell them ahead of time so they can kind of game plan and check with our upline. So we're going to keep getting better. So we love suggestions, fill them out, but this one survey is very important because then we know which breakout you're going to. So here's a pattern that I don't know why people don't get. How lunatic am I on conventions like NBC? Then why would you not bring your wife when I bring my wife, when I bring my kids and my kids bring their spouse? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you bring your staff? Because they refuse to copy. And then you go, and they're doing just as good as you. I go, you know, I got the art, and you know, I got the access to everybody's numbers. And I can pull up their numbers and show you how they compare to the other ones. And then you can decide. You go, I don't have access to that. You got my number. You know where my office is. I'll be at NBC. You can walk up to me and say, and I go, yeah, their pattern, it's not working. Or their pattern's working. It's kind of like, yeah, he picked up $10. Every little bit helps, but he could have picked up $1,000 here. So if I go, yeah, they're growing 2%, or they're up 3.5%, or they're not bad, they're only down 4% or 5%. But this person's up 45, this one's up 35, this one's up 36. You with me? Then I can go, here's what they're, and like I'm telling you, see, they did this different. They did this different. They did this different. And one of the biggest things is they preach. Everybody comes to the conventions. And they don't come back and spend a lot of time with people that didn't come to conventions. They come back and spend a lot of time. Now, listen to this. Nobody has been chastised with me for not coming to a convention. I don't. If you ain't careful, you'll accuse me of it just now that I'm chastising them. Like, I don't even know who they are. But if you ask me if their numbers are growing, I'll tell you. And I'll tell you what the deal is. Does that make sense? So when I say the pattern is I'm relentless on the 8 steps. I'm relentless on going to conventions. Like, that's the biggest stuff. Some people are relentless on sales. They're just relentless on sales. I'm doing what? I don't know, 10 million a week. I'm kind of pushing sales. But other people, their numbers, let's say they're doing 100,000 a month, and it's 100,000 a month, it's 100,000 a month, 100,000 a month. They're really pushing sales, so they bump it up to 5,000 a month. But one person takes a vacation, and it goes down to 80,000 that month. And they go, well, I can explain that. Somebody took vacation. I go, you explained it. I guess it's okay then. But that'd be like if I take your money and then I explain to you why, and you go, oh, okay. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's negative. Why you just accept it? You know, you went down. So how do we prevent it? We call it Chinese Army. No, I'm not screaming at my Mandarin friend when I say Chinese Army. You know, it's an old-timey saying. They keep coming over the walls, and there's millions of them. You're not going to miss your sales. Somebody quits, somebody replaces them. 10 people take vacations, 10 new people coming on. So that if you're growing and pouring back in it, you don't have these spurts and stuff. And by the way, here's another thing. It's like, just because a person was dumb the last 6 months or a year, I don't think they have to be dumb going forward, but I am trying to shake them, foul them, if you will, body block them, if you will, to get them to change that pattern going forward. And sometimes you see them do this, and then do this, then do this, and this, and it's like that right there. And so what happened, and then you say, well, what makes them go up? Usually one person or two go like, we're dumb, and they change the pattern, and then the whole thing goes up. One person or two people pick up on the pattern and drive it up. That's why I'm always saying, find one more leader in that leg. Find one more leader in that leg. And if you got legs that ain't got a leader in them, that's on you. Go get a leader to come in that leg, and then you're going to find a leader. It's so simple, but apparently not the easiest thing in the world because not everybody is doing it. So therefore, we have to be meticulous. So convention coming up, October 16th, it's Thursday, 17th, Friday, 18th, Saturday, 19th, Sunday. We want you there for all of them. Right. When a person says, I can't come Sunday because I got religious situation, I've got religious this, I go, I don't care. Can you get back by 11? Because our service, that optional, non-denominational, not offensive, whatever, is over at 11. So can you come back at 11? And they go, well, I go, okay. You know, I'm not arguing, but I want to tell everybody what I want so they know what disappoints me. But if you don't tell people what you want, then they don't know what disappoints you. And you go like, well, I don't live my life to make you happy. I know, but maybe your people live their life to make you happy, or maybe you have people that respect you and they don't want to let you down. But if you got to tell them, what is letting me down? This is letting me down where you don't come to the convention when you said you were. And so then they've got that psychological thing on them that I want to not let you down. Good. Like at NC State, we watched a football game. I hope every player that I've ever met is looking at me going like, I don't want to let Mr. Albright down, because I want to bust that other team's head off. You with me? I want them to sacrifice their head, their limbs, everything, their body, their consciousness. I want them to lose it on winning. You go, what if they get hurt? Then they get hurt. They'll be like that guy that's got that arm and can't move. He's making about $500,000 a year giving talks. I hate that about his arm. It's a freak accident. What do you want me to tell you? I had a freak accident. I woke up in my S10 Chevy pickup in the air. I felt the hit. But I woke up when I hit the ditch. But I woke up when I was flying over like one of them 5-foot cow fences. Went over that damn thing. Boom, yeah. Freak accident that I lived was what was freaky about it. You know what I mean? But I risk it. I didn't go like, I'm too tired, I can't go. He's too big of a running back, I can't hit him full speed. I want them not thinking. That's what disappoints me, is if you playing timid, if you ain't all going in. Does that make sense? So, but explaining what you want is huge. I learned this lesson one time. God told me, he said, I'm going with the other team, with the other insurance company. I said, why? He said, well, I just don't think y'all really wanted me. And I was like, oh my God. He said, they really wanted me. And I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna, if I'm working with somebody, I make sure they know I want you on my team. This is not, I don't want you to wonder. I want you to know. Because I don't want everybody to say, I didn't know for sure if y'all wanted me. I mean, and I make sure my staff are like, we want them. Now, if they aren't all that good, we don't care that much. Does that make sense? All right, guys, we're going to continue on with our patterns. We've got training here and some intense stuff. And I got something immediately after just for you guys here at the cabin that I want to hit you with. It's not like that. Did y'all get robes? Yes. Not everybody gets robes. I don't know if the next girls are going to get robes. Because from what I've seen, everybody gets different stuff at every event, but it's been ridiculous. And I like it because I get one of everything. But who's got a robe? I want to see I want to let them see the robe before you.
Oh, Mia was modeling it last night.
We got a robe. Y'all, it's one thing and we're wrapping up. We're going to finale with this. Got it? Hold on 1 second. This is worth the wait. Cabin out.